Right, so welcome back. Today we'll be doing the weekly forecast. Okay, so for the dollar, right, pretty clear that price is consolidating within this fair value gap, right? This is supposed to be a bearish fair value gap, a CB. So because right now it's consolidating inside this fair value gap after, or should I say for the entirety of this week right here, I'm slightly leaning towards the upside, as I have mentioned last week as well, because the thing is that after a closure above the fair value gap, price failed to displace lower, closing below the fair value gap. Okay, so that is a sign of weakness. Okay, or it could be a high resistance liquidity run. But based on my experience itself on the lower time frames, okay, as long as price it's consolidating right here, right after closing above or inside the fair value gap for a number of candles, not just three. Okay, maximum I give it's usually three candles. So 1, 2, 3, this candle should be the one that dropped lower, but it failed to do so. Okay, and right now, as you can see, the bodies are all above that, or all, I mean the lows are all within this fair value gap right here. So what am I anticipating for the dollar? It's maybe reaching to this buy stops here, okay, or this equal highs right here into the mean threshold of this order block, which I think that would be the next draw on liquidity. Then after that, I think we might want to revisit this volume imbalance right here. And why is that so? Because unfilled volume imbalance, right, always act as a magnet. Right, unfilled meaning that there's no body overlapping it. Okay, like right here, this volume imbalance, there is a body overlapping it. Okay, so this is a sort of a filled volume imbalance right here, but right here, what we have, it's unfilled. Okay, and we're heading into the end of April as well. So if dollar is not going to drop here, then I think it's going to rally up pretty significantly, leaving out this sort of equal lows right here. Okay, you might want to leave these lows here for a revisit in a later in a later part of the year, but not too sure yet if it's going to rally up. Okay, right now we're still trading in consolidation. We're still within this range here. Okay, for the past few months, we have not seen any form of significant market direction. Okay, so let's just see. Right now, the current dealing range that we have, it's right here. Swing high to swing low. And above 50% would be this level here. If we were to play a consolidation, we would wait for a retracement into premium to short it back down. Okay, so that is what I'm looking at for the dollar. All right, so heading back to the ES on a weekly time frame, ES reached into this volume imbalance right here. Okay, and if dollar is to rally, then I think we might want to reach into this fair value gap right down here. Okay, the 50% of this order block, it's 4,025, right? So this volume balance might also be the next draw on liquidity if the dollar is to rally higher. Okay, on the weekly for the dollar, we do have a fair value gap right here, which is within a balanced price range. Over here, we do have a balanced price range as well, right? Just keep in mind of that. Oops. All right, so moving on, what do we have? on the daily time frame, right? So price is still stuck within this area here, right? And if I would compare the highs of the equities, lower high on ES, higher high on NASDAQ, lower high on Dow Jones as well. Okay, and if we were to compare the short-term highs, we have right here, we have higher highs with ES, but lower highs with NASDAQ. So right now, what I'm looking for is a market structure shift on 6 hours, 4 hours, and 1 hour. I think that should be right about here. Okay, so since we have this market structure shift lower, I'm expecting this 6 hours CB to hold, and then we move lower to take out the sell stops right here. Okay, as you can see, this is like a phantom trend line. So I would like to note down the 6 hours CB right down here. Right? So 6 hours CB. Because previously this was a balanced price range and somehow or rather it failed to find support. Okay, yes, the bodies are all within, but we're working through and breaking market structure right here. So right now I'm inclined to look at this CB as a form of resistance to go lower. All right, makes sense. On the 4 hours, we do have a fair value gap here as well, the 4 hours CB, right? This was the type of reaction that I wanted to see on the dollar. So any closure above or within the fair value gap, I wanted to see a strong displacement lower and closing below the fair value gap right here. And this is what we got. Price never closed back up yet. So right now I'm looking at this 4 hour CB as well. Okay, and downside targets would be obviously the weekly fair value gap and the new week opening gap that's within that. All right, so if we were to derive from this theory, then next week moving forward, I will be looking for shorts. Okay, for shorts into what? Shorts into here. All right, I'm waiting for a 1 minute market structure shift. I mean, not 1 minute, but 1 hour. Okay, so right here we have a CB as well. I mean, BC. No, wait, CB. Okay, so this right here could add extra resistance as it's doing right now. Okay, we're consolidating right below that fair value gap. And how would I want this to play out? Or how would I prefer this to play out? Okay, because on the lower time frames, we have taken out sell stops like 1, 2, no, 1, 2, and 3 times, and the buy stops were taken 1 time. So I would much prefer a one more Judas swing above. All right, maybe into the mean threshold of this order block right here. Okay, so one more shift higher into that 6 hours CB and then lower. That is what I'm anticipating right now. So something like this next week. Okay, but if Sunday is to get lower, taking out this swing low here, right? Then we can compare the highs of the equities on the 1 hour chart. So right here, over here, ES higher high, okay, together with NASDAQ higher high, but on the Dow Jones, lower highs, okay? So if it was to break down this swing low here, then I'll be looking for shorts into that weekly fair value gap. So it would be something like this. All right. If Sunday is the gap lower, all right, taking out this swing low right here. Okay, but I would much prefer a one more purge on the buy stops before reverting back down, which would give us a 3 drives pattern. 1, 2, and 3. All right, so that's it for ES or the equities. Okay, moving forward, let's just take a look at the other foreign currencies. Euro USD. USD. Right, they're all in synergy, so nothing from the foreigns. I mean, for the other pairs. Right, so that is what I am looking for moving towards next week. Okay, so my bias is bearish next week, unless something else forms. Okay, so let's take a look at the calendar for next week. That should give us a roadmap. Okay, next week, Monday is empty. Tuesday we have 10. Wednesday 8:30. Thursday 8:30 and 10. Friday we have 8:30 and 10 as well. Next week should be a good week because we have lots of news. Okay, so hopefully we finally see some movement lower into that weekly fair value gap, as I've mentioned way before. Okay, I wanted to see that tagged before moving higher, but right now it's kind of fishy in terms of the SMTs that we are having right now. Right, as I've mentioned before, NASDAQ higher highs, we have lower highs on Dow and ES right here. So let's see if this fair value gap holds or this order block holds. Okay, if it doesn't, then it's pretty clear we will set the tone for the rest of the summer months. I mean, the spring to summer months, whereby it's going to be bearish based off seasonal tendencies as well. So I think that's it for today. I mean, this video. And I hope you find this insightful, right? I'm still looking at the 1st of May to be the change in direction, all right? So because we have been moving up, this would be 60 days of uptrend, right? From the 1st of March, right? 60 days of an uptrend. And this right here could be a false market structure shift because we do have relative equal lows right below here. And we are moving into a season that tends to be bearish for the equities. Okay, so I hope you find this insightful and have a great weekend. See you guys on the next one.